Satisfaction is the greatest lie you believe. Why do we act like satisfaction is the finish line? Like once you get the job, the partner, the body, the house, you'll finally arrive. But you never do you? That feeling of this is it fades faster than you expect. You chase the next goal, the next fix, and deep down, something always feels missing. That's not failure. That's the system working exactly as designed. Think about it. You buy the new phone and it shines for maybe a week. Then it just becomes a phone. That's not your fault. That's hedonic adaptation. Your brain normalizes pleasure, turns it into background noise. Schopenhauer saw it clearly. Satisfaction is just the brief pause between two waves of desire. We don't want peace. We want the thrill of wanting. And when the thrill's gone, you feel empty. So you run back into the fire. And here's the twist most people miss. Satisfaction isn't the goal, it's the bait. The real engine driving your life isn't happiness, it's longing. And longing never ends. You don't chase because you're close to peace. You chase because peace would kill the game. You've been taught to think that restlessness is a flaw, but maybe it's the only honest thing left in you. Maybe that hunger isn't something to fix, but something to understand. So if satisfaction is a myth, what is worth chasing? Let's go there next. Modern life promises what it can't deliver. They tell you modern life has everything. Endless choice, instant access, unlimited growth. Your dream life is just a few mindset shifts and Amazon deliveries away. But if that's true, why does everyone feel so burned out? So anxious, restless, quietly disappointed? That gap between what you're promised and what you actually feel, it isn't your fault. It's built into the system. You're not broken. The world is. Scroll through Instagram. What do you see? Perfect bodies, curated lives, smiling faces selling you peace through products, a new planner to fix your chaos, a morning routine to cure your emptiness, a luxury candle to make your soul feel expensive. But none of it sticks. That dopamine rush fades fast. Then you're back where you started, only now with more stuff and less clarity. Consumerism runs on craving, not fulfillment. The more you have, the more you want. That's not a glitch, it's the engine. And self-help? It's become the same thing in disguise. Wrapped in positivity and productivity, it keeps dangling the carrot. You could be better. You should be better. You're just one habit away from inner peace. But somehow, that habit never lands. This isn't about being cynical. It's about being clear. You've been taught to confuse desire with depth, achievement with arrival. But as Schopenhauer warned, all striving springs from want or deficiency, from dissatisfaction with one's condition. The machine needs you to stay unsatisfied. It feeds on your restlessness, not your contentment. Here's the truth. No influencer's gonna sell you. You can't consume your way into meaning. You can't hustle your way into peace. And you can't fix spiritual hunger with material upgrades. So if modern life can't deliver what it promises, maybe it's time to stop expecting it to, and start asking what actually fills you. From ancient palaces to iPhones, desire evolves. Siddhartha had it all: silk robes, palace walls, endless pleasures at his fingertips. He was surrounded by comfort, and yet one day he walked away from it all. Not because he lacked something, but because he realized that having everything still didn't quiet the hunger. Sound familiar? Fast forward a few thousand years and here we are. No palace, but we've got the next best thing. Same-day delivery, infinite scroll, dopamine on demand. Our cravings look different now. They come in cardboard boxes and notifications. But the core feeling, still the same. That subtle, gnawing sense that something's missing. That whatever we have, it's not quite it. Buddha's teachings called this tanha, thirst, not just desire, but a clinging, restless hunger. The kind that makes you scroll for an hour looking for something, even if you don't know what. Behavioral science now calls it variable reward. It's why slot machines and social media are addictive, because the reward comes unpredictably. You keep checking, hoping the next hit will finally satisfy you. But it never really does it? Because satisfaction isn't the goal, more is. We've evolved the tools, not the wiring. The ancient thirst now wears AirPods. The same hunger that pulled Siddhartha from his palace is pulling you from moment to moment, chasing stimulation, chasing novelty, chasing a version of peace that always stays one step ahead. And look, this doesn't mean you have to shave your head and renounce the world. But it does mean you need to stop pretending your iPhone can give you what monks spent lifetimes meditating to find. So if desire keeps evolving, outsmarting every upgrade, what do we do with that? Let's talk about how to stop feeding it. Buddha saw the trap. Craving is suffering. Here's the part people misunderstand. Buddha didn't say life is suffering to be dramatic. He said it to be honest. Because once you really look at your own experience, the chasing, the comparing, the constant grasping for more, you start to see it too. That subtle itch under everything. The hunger that never stops. That's what Buddhism calls dukkha. Not just pain, but deep, existential dissatisfaction. A sense that something is always just out of reach. And the root of it? Tanha, craving, wanting things to be different than they are, wanting more pleasure, less pain, a better version of now. We've been trained to believe that craving is just being ambitious, that it's natural. But Buddha saw the deeper trap. It's not the craving itself that hurts you, it's your attachment to it. It's the belief that satisfying desire will finally bring peace. Think about it. You want the job, you get the job. And for a moment it feels good. Then, a new craving appears. Better salary, more respect, a cooler title. It never ends. You don't suffer because you desire. You suffer because you identify with the desire. You let it tell you what you need to feel whole. And that's not mysticism, that's straight psychology. Modern neuroscience backs this up. The dopamine spike happens in the anticipation, not in the reward itself. Your brain is wired to chase, not to land. The system isn't broken, it's built this way. Buddha wasn't handing out riddles, he was giving you a manual for the mind. The first noble truth? There's suffering. The second, it comes from craving. Not from life being unfair, not from the world being cruel, but from your own attachment to the idea that the next thing will finally fix everything. So the question isn't, how do I get what I want? It's, how do I stop needing to? Your mind is addicted to illusions. Your mind is a master illusionist. It whispers, just one more thing, and you believe it every time. One more purchase, one more goal, one more win. Then you'll finally feel complete. But you never do you? Because the moment you get what you wanted, your mind moves the goalpost. Again and again. That's not a bug. That's your brain doing exactly what it was built to do. Evolution didn't design your mind for peace. It designed it to chase, to crave, to survive. Not to be still, but to always look for the next hit of more. Buddhism calls this illusion Maya, the trick of believing that what you're chasing will finally make you whole. Modern psychology has another name: hedonic adaptation. The tendency to return to a baseline of dissatisfaction, no matter how much you achieve. It's like running on a treadmill that speeds up every time you reach a milestone. And the cruel part? You're not just chasing the goal, you're chasing the feeling you thought the goal would bring. But your brain doesn't let you keep that feeling. It fades fast, and you're back at it, scrolling, buying, striving, wondering why nothing ever lands. Your thoughts lie to you. Not because you're stupid, but because your system is ancient. It evolved in a world of scarcity, and now it's trapped in a world of excess. You're wired for survival in a jungle, but you live in a dopamine casino. So the real question isn't, why can't I feel satisfied? It's, why do I keep believing I should? Let's go even deeper. Let go, but not like you think. Let go. You've heard that 1,000 times, right? But most people hear it and think it means giving up, becoming numb, detached in that floaty, passive, whatever happens, happens kind of way. But that's not detachment. That's apathy. Real detachment is sharp. It's strategic. It's the art of seeing clearly and choosing not to be controlled. In Buddhism, non-attachment means you stop clinging to illusions. You don't kill desire. You stop letting it own you. You still move, act, build, love, but you do it from a place of clarity, not compulsion. You're not chasing highs or running from lows. You're grounded, awake. And it's not just Buddhist monks who knew this. Stoics lived it too. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but he trained himself to be immune to praise, criticism, luxury, and pain. Not because he didn't feel them, but because he refused to be ruled by them. That's not softness. That's inner dominance. See, non-attachment isn't the absence of ambition. It's the presence of self-mastery. It means you can walk into chaos and stay centered. You can lose without losing yourself. You can want something deeply and still be fine if it doesn't come. That's power. That's leverage over a world designed to bait your emotions 24/7. Imagine how dangerous you'd be if you stopped needing everything to go your way. If your peace wasn't for sale every time someone praised you, ghosted you, or handed you a shiny distraction. Letting go doesn't mean withdrawing from life. It means finally engaging with it on your terms. So don't detach to escape. Detach to see, to move smarter, to stop being played by the game. Because the moment you stop needing control, you have it. The Buddha wasn't peaceful, he was radical. Forget the image of Buddha as some peaceful, passive monk sitting under a tree smiling at butterflies. That's the postcard version. The real Buddha? He was a radical. A man who walked away from wealth, rejected tradition, and challenged the power structures of his time, all in pursuit of one thing: truth. This was a guy who left his palace not to find comfort, but to destroy illusion. He called out the caste system, refused to bow to priests, and told ordinary people, farmers, beggars, women, that they had the power to awaken. That was dangerous. That was revolutionary. He wasn't selling inner peace. He was handing out a blueprint for mental freedom. And he made it clear, you don't need a title, a guru, or a perfect life. You just need to learn how to see your mind clearly. That's the real rebellion, not overthrowing governments, but overthrowing the tyranny of your own craving. Buddha didn't tell you to numb yourself. He told you to wake up, to stop letting your thoughts and desires run your life like some puppet master behind the curtain. And if you really think about it, What could be more radical than that? Mastering your own mind in a world built to distract it. Choosing clarity in a culture obsessed with chaos. That's not soft. That's not passive. That's power. So maybe the point of all this isn't to become calmer. Maybe it's to become conscious. Let's keep going. How to escape the satisfaction trap? So, how do you escape the satisfaction trap? How do you stop chasing the next fix and start living from a place that isn't constantly starving? First, you've got to notice the craving. That's where mindfulness comes in, not as some airy cetonomat practice, but as a weapon. Mindfulness is the act of catching your mind in the lie. It's seeing the urge to scroll, buy, binge, escape, and not obeying it. Just sit with the discomfort. Let it burn a little. You'll survive. And the more you sit with it, the less power it has. Second, voluntary discomfort. Sounds backwards, right? But it's ancient wisdom. Choose hard things on purpose. Cold showers. Silence. Waiting. Saying no, not because you're punishing yourself, but because you're training your nervous system to stop panicking when it doesn't get a dopamine hit. The less addicted you are to comfort, the freer you are. Third, digital detox. Seriously, your phone is engineered to hijack your attention, your desire, your self-worth. Get it out of your bedroom. Turn it off for a day. Replace mindless scrolling with conscious boredom. Boredom is where clarity starts. And finally, reframe your goals. Stop asking, what will make me happy? Start asking, what will make me resilient? What will help me see clearly? Shift the target. Happiness is a side effect, not a goal. Build your life like a practice, not a performance. None of this is soft. It's not about becoming zen or chilled out or blissful. It's about becoming sharp, mentally agile, emotionally steady, spiritually awake in a world designed to dull you. You don't escape the trap by running faster. You escape by stopping and seeing, finally, what's real. Still chasing? Good. Now ask why. You get it now, right? Satisfaction doesn't last. The goalpost always moves. You know the next achievement, the next purchase, the next high won't finally make you whole. So why are you still chasing? Why do you keep reaching for that next thing, knowing deep down it's just another mirage? Why is your calendar full, your mind busy, your phone always in your hand? What are you really running from? This is where it gets uncomfortable. Because it's not just the world feeding you illusions, it's you clinging to them. Somewhere inside, you still believe the right relationship, the right body, the right version of you will finally silence the noise, that one day you'll arrive. But what if your whole life has been built on craving, not just your habits, but your identity? Who are you if you're not striving, comparing, reaching? That's the real fear. Not that you'll fail to get what you want, but that getting it won't fix the ache. It's time to flip the lens inward, to ask yourself honestly, what am I chasing? And who told me it would save me? Your programming, cultural, biological, algorithmic, is deep, but it's not you. You weren't born addicted to more, you were taught, conditioned. But if you can be programmed, you can be rewired. The question is, are you willing to look that closely? Are you ready to stop running and investigate the engine behind the chase? Because until you do, no amount of success will ever feel like enough.